From the heart of Wayne County, this is Wayne Goldsboro Television, Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Today is Monday. It's a brand new month. Happy May.
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 Oh,
yeah.
Going by so fast.
Yeah, this is Wayne Goldsboro Television, and I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kate Daniels.
And I'm happy you're with us. And here we get closer to an official start of summer.
Yes.
Sometime in the month of June. We have quite a bit of ways to go before that, but man, we have experienced some beautiful weather, a little rain, some thunderstorms, typical this time of year. Of course,
and we need it this time of year.
We need the rain right now, but we are so fortunate because other parts of the country have really had it rough. Either blizzards or hailstones as big as golf balls or flooding in Texas. It's just, we're so fortunate.
We are.
And those other places have really had it rough, and thank goodness there's the Red Cross to help them out.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. They're there every day of the year. Every day of the year.
That is exactly right. We're going to get right to it. Got a couple of things for you here. First of all, Wayne County wants to improve internet services, and I'll tell you more about that in just a moment because we actually have a show and tell.
A show and tell?
We have a show and tell.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, whoa. I'm telling you, we're uptown here. Okay. I got to tell you about Amnesty Day at the landfill. Amnesty Day is coming up. It's been approved by the Board of Commissioners on an annual basis, and Amnesty Day is when the county will waive the normal tipping fee for all county residents. Residents only. This does not apply to commercial businesses and waste haulers. Amnesty Day will benefit those who want to throw away wood, bricks, limbs, stumps, and other construction debris, all of which the landfill accepts but with a fee. On Amnesty Day, there is no fee. Furniture, white goods like refrigerators and washers and dryers and all that sort of stuff, and tires already accepted at the landfill for free. There's no fee with those items, but for construction items and things like that, there's usually a fee. But on May 7th, which is this Saturday, there is Amnesty Day at the Wayne County landfill. No fee on those items for residents only.
Right.
All right.
Very good.
All righty. What is this? May 3rd. This is tomorrow. Tomorrow.
It's a big week. So this is National Small Business Week, and we say at the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce we don't celebrate small business one week out of the year. We celebrate it 365 days a year. But we are offering great programs, free events for our chamber members to come out. We've got a great lineup of seminars this week, and what Wayne was just saying was the Member to Member Business Expo is going to be held tomorrow night at Herman Park Center from 5:30 to 7. We've got 39 businesses signed up that will have tables so that they're going to be ready to talk to you about your business, bring your business cards, meet some new connections. That's what this whole thing is about, and get some great exposure.
I'll tell you, and I've been to these, and these are just fantastic. If you want to know more about businesses, you can get up close and personal with a lot of these businesses, find out what they're all about, and you might be able to find a new dealer for your car. You might find a new place to buy furniture. You might be able to find a new place to buy clothing or insurance or a new dentist.
That's right.
You got any dentists there?
Yeah, and then that's the beautiful thing. So right now we've got right at 600 businesses of all kinds. So the stay-at-home business out of your home to the largest employer in Wayne County is a part of the chamber. So the thing about the member to member is, this is what I love. So this will be my third one that I've been a part of at the chamber. Is you'll hear people talking. You know, they'll be next to a booth next to them. Hey man, how's it going? There'll be a connection made.
Yeah.
And y'all know what this means when you do it face to face, not over the phone, not through an email, whatever. You make a connection, and you'll hear people be like, "Well, yeah, I'll give you a call." Or, "Hey, my brother's looking for somebody like that. I'll give you a call." Whatever it is. So it's a neat opportunity. We've got sessions on creating buzz through marketing, taxes for small business. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on this week. There's one on Wednesday on the Affordable Care Act and what it means for your business.
Yeah.
Lots of great events going on, and I would just encourage you to contact the Chamber. You can visit us online at the WayneCountyChamber.com or give us a call. Visit us on Facebook, and we'd love to have you join us.
I tell you, it's a great thing. It really is. Networking, just unbelievable. It's a fantastic event. It really is. May 23rd, a big community concert band, the Wayne County Community Concert Band, presenting a salute to Wayne County Armed Forces. I'll tell you more about that in just a few minutes. But right now, we got to go to our interview, and when we come back, we'll do more of whatever we just did. Our guest today is Aries Brinson of Communities and Schools. Hi there.
Hi, Wayne.
How are you, Aries?
Awesome.
Always great to have you in the studio
Thank
with
you.
us.
Always nice to sit beside you.
It's always great. Tell us what you do for Communities and Schools.
For Communities and Schools, I am the teen court director. So on a morning like this, I feel like a hard driver, but typically what I do is try to make a difference in kids' lives. They're first-time offenders. They come into my program. They go through a court of their peers, and they get a constructive sentence. And if they're successful, I will come right back here to the courthouse and help them get those charges dismissed.
You have an interesting but extremely difficult job.
Yes.
We're talking about children. Children who break the law.
That's
Children
right.
who break the law, and if they don't do what they're supposed to do, they could end up actually going to jail.
Yeah, that's right.
These are first offenders.
First-time offenders.
First-time
only.
offenders, and what are the other issues that they have? First-time offenders, and
They have to be students,
they have to be in school. Okay.
right?
All right.
They have to be 18 and under at the time of the charge. And the reason that I can take 18-year-olds is because I get United Way funding, which gets me to the 18 mark. When I get my JCPC funding, they really want me to stop at 16-year-olds.
What is JCPC?
The Juvenile Crime Prevention Council.
I knew that. Not really. Okay. Give me an example, if you would, of what a child may go through when they come to you for help, or do they come to you or are they referred to you?
They are referred to me by either a deputy from the sheriff's department, typically in their school, if it's something that happens at school, or by a district court judge or a district attorney.
All right. And what are some of the crimes we're talking about?
Oh gosh, we have underage consumption of alcohol, we have possession of marijuana, we have trespass, we have larceny, shoplifting, theft, communicating threats, disorderly conduct, simple affray, simple assault.
Most of these misdemeanors?
Yes, all misdemeanors.
All are misdemeanors. There's no felonies involved.
No felonies. We cannot take felonies.
Cannot take felonies for obvious reasons.
Right.
So misdemeanors, students, first-time offenders.
Right.
And what happens? I mean, when a deputy refers a child to you, the child comes to you, and how do you set this up? What do they have to go through?
I get the referral. Typically, a lot of my deputies like to come by in person and we'll chat it up, and they will hand me a referral or a stack of referrals that they've been saving up for me. And
nice. How nice is that?
Yeah, you know, just so they make one trip, but they bring me that referral. So if it comes to me from a deputy, then I'll call that family in the order that they come, and I'll say you need to come in for an intake.
Now, does the family know that the child has been referred to you?
Yes, they've already talked with the deputy. So I call them, they come in for an intake, and that's where I meet with the parent. Parent must be there. And the child, we discuss, you know, why they're there, how they got there, what my expectations are for them, how they can be successful, what consequences they might be facing, those types of things.
So the parents and the child know from the very beginning of what to expect.
Oh, yes.
And if they don't follow the rules, there are consequences.
There are consequences, and that's where it gets a little tough for me, but I try my best to stand firm And I'm proud that most of the time I can stand firm. All the time I stand firm, even
Yes, you
if
do.
it's hard for me sometimes.
It's really got to be tough because sometimes young people are a little hard-headed. And they don't always follow the rules. So give me an example if, and you told me off camera here just a moment ago that they're given 3 chances to do what?
Well, there are lots of things they need to do to be successful. One thing that every kid must do is the Think Smart or Think About It program. That's where I have someone come from a correctional facility and speak to my kids about choices and consequences and prison life. We have inmates come to speak to the kids, and that's required of every kid. So that's one required thing of teen court, that in this 90-day program, there are 3 opportunities to do. You only have to do one Think Smart. So when I'm in intake, I say, you know what? You get 3 months. You get 3 tries. Don't wait until the end. But you know what some of them do? They wait until the end, and then they come 30 minutes late for something that's an hour, and then I turn them away, and then they call me the next day, and they beg and they plead, and they say, oh, it was traffic, or oh, our car broke down, or whatever. But I have to say, why didn't you come 3 months ago? Why didn't you come 2 months ago, just as I advised you?
They have 3 opportunities to go to this
one time, 1 hour requirement.
3 times. They don't come to the first one, they don't come to the second one, and the third one, they're 10 to 15 to 20 to 30 minutes late.
40 minutes late.
And it's an hour-long program.
Yeah.
They miss so much.
They missed the fruit of it. They missed the whole entire purpose.
I must say, it would not make sense at all to let them in, because these are young people who are influenced by so many things now. And if they are told after missing the first 2 that, well, you're 10 to 15 to 20 minutes late, you can't come in. But if you let them in, aren't you defeating the purpose of trying to teach them something?
I'm defeating the purpose of trying to teach them something, and then the word is that, oh, Miss Aries, you know, you could just do whatever.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the rules that you were told about, because you can break them and everything will be okay, and you'll still get the same end result that you were hoping for. So I can't have that happen, no matter how hard it is.
So what happens if they miss the first 2 and they're late and they don't get into the third one? What happens?
They are unsuccessful, and then I will either tell a district judge as much, or I will send a letter to the referral source, like the deputy, and tell them, I'm sorry, the kid did not do this required thing, so they're unsuccessful. Because in my opinion, if you do not do everything that is required of you, you're not successful. They say, oh, I did everything else but you didn't do everything. So that is what we deem unsuccessful, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple enough. So if you don't do everything that's required of you, I can't let you pass.
There's no gray area.
Black and white.
Black and white. You're either successful or you're unsuccessful.
That's correct.
If you're successful, this is good. If you're unsuccessful, you're out.
Yeah.
You're out.
It may sound harsh, but
aside from that, what are some of the other things that would make them unsuccessful, or is there anything else? They just have to be there.
I mean, I have had parents just call and say, you know what, this is too much. I'm not going to be driving my kid from Dudley to whatever. Charge them. I've
Really?
had that happen. Yes. The last time I was in court with a young man whose mom said, you know what, we're not doing this. Too much hassle. Just charge him. You know, and that same mother stood up in court in front of the judge and says, you know, I'm just ready for him to be out of my house. He's turning 18. So one of the challenges you asked earlier that I meet, one of the challenges sometimes is the parent.
I should say so.
Sometimes it's
Gee
the parent,
whiz.
and it's unfortunate.
It's very
and it's
unfortunate.
not every parent, it's not every kid, but these are some of the things we experience, yes.
That's really sad.
It is.
I mean, what does that say to the
heartbreaking.
child? Yeah. What does that say to the child? Parent, and as you say, that doesn't happen to many of them. Thank goodness for that.
Right.
But it's to those that does happen to, it says, we don't care about you.
Right, right. Or we have, you know, the days when I'm in district court and, you know, I hear the calendar call, and not only do I hear my child's name, well, not my child, but, you know, my kid in my program, but I hear his parent's name.
Aries, tell me about a successful
A successful
child.
I had a young man who came into teen court for larceny. He did everything successfully and then returned to teen court as a very effective defense attorney with compassion and understanding, which makes him that much more effective. So that would be a success story. Kids that, you know, don't have any like stigma after teen court, they see it as a good thing that they can't stay away from. And then they find themselves on the other side, you know, of the courtroom as a teen court volunteer.
What are the ages again?
They are 12 to 18.
12 to 18. 12 to 18 years of age,
Yep,
teenagers,
that's right.
teen court. So, and tell me about the courtroom itself. Now, there's a judge, there's a jury,
Right.
and there's
There's a clerk, there's a
defense
bailiff,
attorney,
there's
and
a prosecutor.
All right. Now, who make up these people?
These, the clerk, the bailiff, the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the jurors, they're the peers of these defendants.
They're
these
the
are
young
also
people. They're young
teenagers.
teenagers.
They are volunteers. It's positive peer pressure. That's what we like to call it.
Yeah. So the judge is an adult.
Yeah, the judge is an adult, typically a district court judge or a licensed attorney.
So these are real law people. This is a real judge or a lawyer
Right, right.
who understand the law.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Now this is real court, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
This is not just play. This is not play. This is
No,
real.
right.
Now, if they're found guilty of the crime,
They're already guilty of the crime.
oh,
That's the thing about teen court. To get into teen court, we missed that part when we were going through
I
all
did
the,
miss that, yeah.
you know, that's my fault. But they have to admit guilt, first of all. So we're not here to say, did you or didn't you? You did, you admit that. And the first step is to admit that guilt, to accept responsibility for your actions.
I can imagine that a child who is in an area that is where he has so many influences coming at him, that some are good and some are not, and oftentimes they get to that fork and they take the wrong fork. A first-time offender going to a court like this with his peers,
Yeah.
people his own age, and this is real.
Yeah.
Can they get time?
Some can. It's very rare that I'll see a judge. I haven't seen a judge tell a kid, okay, you're going to jail. I've seen probation, you know, fines, and the charge sticking on that kid's record. That's what they're trying to avoid. But if they're not successful, the charge goes with them.
And it stays with them.
Yep.
It stays on their record. And that would oftentimes is seen by a future employer, future college admissions, military. It's on their record. And teen court, you do all you can to keep it from going to the record. Sometimes it
And
doesn't
I
work
mean,
out.
teen court, we're over 90% successful. So most of these kids, they're going to come in, they're going to be successful, and after teen court, they're not going to, our statistics show, become repeat offenders.
It takes something like this to straighten them out. It really does. And you mentioned a 90% rate, and that's not just a number that's thrown out there.
Oh, no.
You have to document all
Right,
this,
right,
and
right.
you know these numbers.
Right.
A 90% plus success rate. I know that some years ago, somebody I know personally got into some trouble himself. He did. I'm not saying who,
Please don't.
but he, through the graciousness of a very understanding and difficult judge, straightened this person out. And he was a first offender. And he learned from that. And I'll
Right.
tell you, these young people go into a court like this, all of a sudden reality hits them.
Oh, yeah.
And they say, oh boy, now what's going to happen to me now?
Oh, yeah.
Am I going to have to go to jail? And they could.
They definitely could.
They could. But with a 90% success rate, I tell you what, you have a tough job.
Yeah. I
And-
love it.
And you have to be tough
I love it. Yep.
because you're molding lives here. You're helping them move on to a successful future.
Right, right. And I tell them that all the time. For instance, when they're late, do I get to go to work late? So these are life lessons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there are consequences for every action.
Someone wants to know more about this. How do they how do they find out
You
more?
can give me a call, first
Oh,
of all,
okay.
at 919-735-1432. You can stop by the Teen Court office at 308 North William Street. We're in the Chamber of Commerce. You can pick up a pamphlet. You can ask me questions. You can stop by Teen Court on the first and third Tuesday of every month.
So spectators
Right.
can come in and watch.
Right. We do have like Leadership Wayne comes in a lot
Yeah.
of times, and anyone that expresses any interest in Teen Court, I always encourage them to check us out first. Come to a Teen Court night and see what it's like, see what you'll be doing, see what is happening in our community. You might be blown away.
I promise you, you will.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see if I remember that. It's 919-735-1432.
Yeah,
Is that right?
that's right, Wayne.
735-1432. Our guest has been Aries Brinson.
Yeah.
Aries, you are the Teen Court Coordinator,
That's
which is
right.
part of our Communities in Schools
Right.
operation
Right.
here in Wayne County.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Always
Wayne.
great to have you.
And can I say one more thing?
Of course, you can say anything you want.
Communities in Schools just had a very successful Have a Heart fundraiser.
Yes,
so I'd like
they
to
did.
thank everyone in the community for all your contributions to make things like Teen Court possible, to make things like the success coaches in our at-risk schools possible. So thank you for making Have a Heart a success.
You're a nice person.
Oh,
Thank you so much for
Wayne.
being here.
Thank you.
All right. We are back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you for being with us. Now, here's today's trivia question. The trivia question for today, category is Thomas Jefferson, our third president of the U.S., the old redhead himself. You know, he was redheaded.
Yes, I do
Very
know that.
much. Fiery red hair. And, of course, he's the gentleman who wrote the Declaration of Independence. Constitution. He, with a tremendous amount of help from John Adams, the Constitution, and as it turned out, he didn't like the final result, and he used to carry around a copy of his, the one that he wrote originally, without the
did not know
changes,
that.
and tried to show it to people and say, "Didn't you like this better? Didn't you like this better? This was better. See, I wrote this." Anyway, it all worked out. It all worked out. Anyway, you ever read the Constitution? You need to read the Constitution.
Homework.
Bottom line.
Bottom line.
Birthdays today. Here's the question. Here's the
What?
question. Birthdays just kind of jumped in there. I don't know where that came from.
I was going along with it. I didn't even realize that you didn't ask the question.
Thomas Jefferson. Okay. During his tenure as President of the United States, he made a deal with a nation that was called the Louisiana Purchase, which involved buying a tremendous amount of land that was, of course, later to become part of the United States. From what nation did he buy or deal or contract the Louisiana Purchase? Okay?
Good question.
That's the question. Birthdays. Ta-da! Ta-da! Bianca Jagger having a birthday today. She is 71. That's the former Mrs. Mick. 71 she is. Larry Gatlin. Remember Larry Gatlin? All the
Yeah.
Gold in California, that big song with the Gatlin brothers way back when.
Oh,
yeah, Larry
sure.
Gatlin. He's 68 years today. How about that? He also did some acting as well. Pretty good actor, too. Dwayne Johnson. The Rock. Big wrestler kind of guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's his name?
Dwayne Johnson, yeah. He's 44 today. That's him. And those are birthdays. And if you're having a birthday, happy everything to you there
That's
as
his
well.
name? You know, I will say this. You know how, like, people, you watch movies and character portrayals and all this,
Yeah.
and then you watch them in interviews, you know, he seems to me like he's a good guy.
I think he is.
He seems like a nice guy.
Just a nice guy.
Just a nice guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to make him mad.
Oh, no.
He is
no.
not. He is not small.
No, but he is. He is a nice guy. And you can tell, and I love actors who are so talented that they're able to portray a character. They get
Yeah.
into character, especially a character who is a villain.
Yeah.
And then you see them off screen.
Yeah.
And they're just normal people. I
Yeah,
love that. They're
just
so
as
talented.
nice as can be.
And I could start, and name 30 or 40 real quick, but I'm not going to do it. Bruce Dern. I love Bruce Dern. He was such a bad guy, but he's great.
But he's a good.
I love him.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just one of hundreds. We're going to go to our next interview now, okay?
Sounds great.
All right. We'll be back. today we welcome to the studio a gentleman I have known, I guess what, 300-400 years now.
Noah.
Yeah, that's right.
Biblical times.
Right. No, for many years now, I've had the pleasure of knowing Pastor George C. Lee, and you and I had spent some time on the radio, didn't we?
Yes, we did, and that takes me back a long way, and even today, after having been off of a radio for many years, my voice betrays me.
Yeah, it does.
People still come to me, and I have to be very careful about what I say in the public.
I understand that. Now, how many years were you on WGBR radio?
It's an interesting story, and I realize we don't have time to go into it, but I had pioneered a 5-minute radio program before I came to Goldsboro. And when I came here, I wanted to go on local radio, and I approached the station, and they were very reluctant and hesitant, in a very hesitant mode. They put me on for a 90-day trial run. That was October the 1st of 1973.
Wow.
And the end of August of 1994, I had logged 5,000 daily radio programs, and he had put our church on the map, and some of the most wonderful years of my ministry was brought about because of fellows like you who put me on the radio. I think about Jim Kent, Vassie Balcom is gone, Bob Wooten, and all of those early guys. And there's not many, you know, that program, Last Man Standing?
Yes.
I feel like that.
Now, you recorded all your programs yourself and did your own music as well. You're quite the prolific songwriter, I must say, and producer as well.
Well, yes, we had a simple recording studio in the church, and I was able to make a lot of well, the early days I had to record at the studio on the reel-to-reel, and go and knock at the back door and hope that somebody would let me in, and then go make a telephone call and say, open the door.
Right.
But we did that, and ultimately we got a recording studio, and I was able to do it there. And I did most of my musical recordings. I have had 150 songs published, Wayne, in the last 20 years.
Wow.
And I don't know how many LP recordings, CDs that I have made. The Lord gave me a strong voice. When I started out at 1950 in gospel music, I was just a kid, but my voice matured, and most of the fellas that I started out with years ago, they sound like grandma. Now, that's no slam on the grandmas in our audience, but they've lost their voices, and if they used to sing tenor, now they sing bass. And that's just what happens to you when you grow old. So I'm thankful. I never smoked, I never drank, and tried to take care of my lungs, and as a result of that, my voice is still strong.
You still have it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought you were extremely talented in harmonizing. You harmonized your own songs with several tracks.
Yeah, well, I wrote, I did it the hard way. You go into the high-dollar studios and, you know, multiple tracks, and it's not a big chore. But the way I did it, I'd record the one part and put the headphones on and play it back and sing another one and add and add and add until I had it, stacking it up and all. And I actually did a recording, a full CD of me singing a lot of old gospel songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me about George C. Lee. Where's home for you? Where are you from?
My home was in Mississippi. I had 6 sisters, all older than this old fella. My father was a pioneer Free Will Baptist preacher. And if you had told me when I was growing up that this is what I would become and be, I would have laughed you to scorn.
Really?
Because this was not on my radar screen. But when I tried gospel music, and that did not last for very long, and I went to a little insignificant college in Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where I met my wife. And she was the one who changed the direction of my life. Now, I mean, the Lord was in it. But she saw something in me, Maureen Edwards from Cesar, Illinois, that I did not know was there. And we fell in love and got married and had 4 children. And we've served pastorates in numerous states. And now I'm coming to the close. I will be 85 years of age on May the 19th.
Good gracious.
And but when I saw my dad labor and try to feed all that family, I said, this is not for me.
Right.
But behind the scenes, the Lord was working, and he led me to this area. And I came here, and as I mentioned earlier, in March of 1973. And then I retired from Victory Free Will Baptist Church in August of 1994. I stayed out of the pastorate for about 10 years, but I was still preaching, singing, traveling, and filling in. And then I got to assisting Hood Swamp Friends. And my last Sunday there will be June the 26th, and I will retire, again.
Again.
And this time it will be permanent, and I hope to be able to do some things that I haven't felt liberty and had the time to be able to do. So I've spent 13 years at Hood Swamp.
So at the age of 85, you're just getting warmed up, aren't you?
Well, my first, I was ordained in October of 1952,
Right.
but my pastorate began in a little town in the middle of Nebraska in 1954. And from there, we moved to Memphis, Tennessee. From there to Shady Grove in Durham County, North Carolina.
Yeah.
From there to Albany, Georgia. From there to Jerusalem, Nashville, Tennessee. And then to Goldsboro, and this is where I will retire.
Tell me about Maureen. When did you guys get married?
We were married August the 8th, 1952, in my home church. And we had stars in our eyes. I was only 20. My dad had to sign for me to be able to get married.
Did he?
And but she was the love of my life, kind and gentle. In fact, Wayne, I have written a song in her memory, and if I can, I would like to hold it up and show it to you. I'll tilt it here. And the song has just been published by Cumberland Valley Music in Knoxville, Tennessee. And whatever I have accomplished, I don't want to come across as sounding like I am bragging, because that certainly is not the case.
Yeah.
But this is my wife, Maureen. We met in college, and whatever I have accomplished is largely due to her. And so I give thanks to the Lord for her being in my life for all of those years.
And she passed last year.
She passed away on April the 22nd of last year. We would have been married 64 years if she had lasted. And I miss her greatly, but I know that she would want me to continue and to keep on, and this is what I've tried to do. I'd like to show also something that was given to me. This is something that, Wayne, when I received it, I really didn't know what it was, but this is the Order of the Longleaf Pine, signed by Governor Jim Hunt.
Right.
My son was in the law firm in Raleigh, Tom, with Governor Hunt, and Governor Hunt bestowed this on me, and I got it and took it home and laid it aside and didn't really realize what it was. I didn't run to the newspaper and say, put me on the front page or anything.
Well, that's quite an honor.
Well,
That's a big honor.
it is, and I'm very thankful. And when I preached my last sermon as a pastor, Wayne, I hold in my hand now a copy, not a copy, but my dad's Bible that he used in the last years of his ministry.
How old is that Bible?
Well, actually, I think he got it in 1970 something, so it's not his oldest, but it was the one that he used.
Well, that goes back a few years.
This is my first little work, which I'm not selling anything. I don't have any copies. That was a book I called Potpourri. I got that from Paul Harvey.
Okay.
And one of the most important items I have that I cherish is a letter from Paul Harvey signed. When I sent him a copy of that book, and he wrote me, Wayne, and he said, "Dear Reverend Lee," I think he called me Dr. Lee, and I like that.
Yeah, sounds good.
And I said, he said, these are his exact words. He said, "Dear Reverend Lee," or Dr. Lee, whatever. He said, this book will follow me until I have read and digested every word. And he signed it, Aim High, Paul Harvey, and I've never forgotten that. Here's the book that I published, Wayne, several years ago.
I remember that.
And before we have to depart here, I know that time is getting away. Here is a copy of my own personal songbook that I published about 10 years ago, and they're all gone. I'm not selling anything. I'm just grateful for the opportunity of serving the Lord. The people of Wayne County have been extremely kind and good to me, and our relationship at WCBR was wonderful. And oh, that head of hair, I admire it greatly.
Oh, my head of hair?
Yes.
Oh, go on.
Yes. My son went to get his driver's license renewed, and they said, "The color of your hair," and he said, "Gone. Is that a color?" And that's the way mine is. I've got it on the side, but all that thinking and sermonizing has sort of removed it from the top of my head.
Well, then that should tell you right there, I don't do a whole lot of thinking. That's,
Oh, I doubt that.
all right.
Yeah.
Reverend Pastor George C. Lee, when is your final sermon?
That will be June the 26th at Hood Swamp Friends, and it's on Hood Swamp Road, just off of Highway 13.
Right.
And I want to thank you for our friendship down through the years. You have been a great friend, and you've done everything that I've ever requested, and I want you to know that as a dear friend and brother, I love you.
I love you too, and I appreciate your coming in and sharing all this with us there.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much, George.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir. We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you for being with us. Our program runs every morning at 7 a.m., Monday through Friday. It repeats at noon, which is in most places 12 o'clock. And then it comes on again, it repeats again at 5:30 p.m. Between those programs, we have lots of stuff for you here on Wayne Goldsboro Television.
Good
Lots
stuff.
of good stuff, including the exercise program. A lot of people, that's a very popular program, runs at 8 o'clock. And here lately, we've been running at 3 p.m. an arthritis exercise program that they were able to get me involved in. And well, I don't know why. And they didn't pay me anything for it, but besides the point. But it was a lot of fun. But anyway, and a lot of other things that we run as well, and I hope you're able to enjoy the programming. And if you are of a mind,
Some days.
show and tell time.
Okay.
It's time for this. All right. I'm going to show you how to make a suggestion, make a point, get something across to us here on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Here's what you do. If you want to communicate with us besides email, there's a way you can do it. First thing you do is you go to waynegov.com. Now, we're going to put this on the screen. All right? Boom. There it is. That's the Wayne County website right there. All right? I took that. I took that picture. Isn't that great?
Are you serious? That's
I did.
wonderful.
Isn't that great? Yeah. Well, I took that one too, but anyway, beside the point. I think I took all of these. Anyway, you go to waynegov.com website. And on that website, you move the page down once you get there. And we're going to move it down now. All right, in just a second. There we go. We're moving it down to underneath there where it says, and keep going. And right there on the left side, you see where it says Wayne Goldsboro Television.
Yes.
Then you click on that. And that brings you to the Public Affairs page. Boom. Public Affairs page. All right, that's our department here. When you reach the Public Affairs page, you have two ways to connect to Wayne Goldsboro Television. And in the top left corner, you see the little mouse moving there, connect with WGTV. And then in the lower right-hand corner, you move up, and then in the lower right-hand corner down there on the right, you'll see, bottom right, you'll see, under Newsflash, you'll see the Wayne Goldsboro Television link. So if you click on either one of those, it brings you to this page. All right? It brings you to this page. And in that page, right in there, right there, it says form. You click on that word form, and it takes you to a sign-in page. Now, if you're not signed in, you have to create a profile, which is very simply a matter of putting in your name and your email address. And this has something to do with security and protecting you. So anyway, we're going to put in Pat's name, Pat, our producer here. She's going to put in her name. She's going to figure out how to spell it. Once she learns how to spell her name, she's going to put in that name and then a password that she has come up on her own. And then she'll click to link in. And then once she links in, it takes you to the form center. You put in your name and you put in your other stuff. Okay? And she's showing you there. You put in whatever you want to put in. And then you type in any kind of communication you want to make, any suggestions, programming suggestions. You can type in blah, blah, blah if you want to type in blah, that's up to you. But we'd love to hear from you, your ideas, your thoughts, if you want to add something to the program that you think we might be able to do, any suggestions you may have. All right, and then that way it's on a form, and it's an official form to us, and we really appreciate it. Otherwise, you can email us. All right? All right, we're going to go back to that now. You can email us, and let's find there you go, our email addresses are right there. It's wayne.alley@waynegov.com, or Kate's address is Kate D. I'll get it right in a minute. Looks like Kated. But it's Kate D at WayneCountyChamber.com. Right?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Good.
Yeah. Pat did all that.
It's very nice. Pat, well done.
Today's trivia question is, Thomas Jefferson made the Louisiana Purchase from what nation? The answer, do you know this one?
I don't.
It is, we got, well, think about Louisiana. There's a lot of French people there. Right? We bought it from France. All that land came from France. There you go.
I
Makes
should have
sense.
known that.
Yeah,
That's very good.
There you go.
Little history, little
Yeah,
history.
yeah, it's always good to know.
Yeah.
If you don't know from where you came, you have no idea from where you're going.
I love that.
Thank you.
It's true.
I just made it up.
This Wednesday, which is Wednesday, May 4th, the community is invited to come to the Paramount Theater for a viewing of a film documentary called Most Likely to Succeed. It's free, doesn't cost anything. 6:15. It's Wednesday night. I will tell you that the end of last week I had an opportunity to go do like a pre-screening of it. It's an hour and 20 minutes. And that day, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of like, I don't know that I have an hour and 20 minutes. I don't know that I can do it. I watched it. When the film ended, I was like, is that it? I thought I'd been there for like 25 minutes. It is fascinating. It provokes so many emotions and questions as to how we're looking as a society at education and how we're not teaching for the 21st century. It is absolutely fascinating. So wherever you are in your life, if you are younger, older, if you've got kids, if you don't have kids, if you've got grandkids, you don't, whatever, if you're in education or you're in the business community, we want you to come out. It's a free event. The Paramount Theater has 503 seats. Something tells me it's not going to be filled to capacity, which makes me sad. We want you there. After the viewing, there's a panel discussion with Dr. June Atkinson.
Oh. Secretary of Education.
Big deal.
Big deal.
Another big deal is we'll have representation from Seymour Johnson Air Force Base.
Wow.
Dr. Kay Albertson from Wayne Community College.
Wow.
Dr. Michael Dunsmore, Wayne County Public Schools Superintendent. And Dr. Steve Hill, he is with STEM East. And I'll share this as well. I had told my husband, I've got an event Wednesday night, because we're juggling 2 small children. I told him last night, we'll get a babysitter because I want him to be there.
You want him to be?
It is just so important.
All right.
And it's looking at, let's talk about education, what we're doing. Disclaimer, nobody's going, we need to jump ship from what we're doing and do something completely different. It's not the point of this. The point is to spur a dialogue. And it just is a fascinating documentary.
That is fantastic.
Fascinating.
Wow. And again,
So join us.
what night is that?
It's Wednesday, which is May 4th. Contact the chamber. We can give you all the details. We want to see you there. It starts at 6:15 at the Paramount Theater in beautiful downtown Goldsboro. It's a free event. Come on out.
Wayne County Chamber of Commerce, 919-734-2241.
You are
734-2241. I tried.
You're good.
Well, yeah. The idea is to get them in right order. Sometimes I don't, Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's it, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, okay, we're a little bit over time here, so we're going to run. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope you will join us at these times, whatever those times were. Anyway, until then, for Wayne Goldsboro Television, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kate Daniels.
And this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.